The morning sun shone bright over New Haven Colony. Hannah Kim wiped sweat from her face as she worked on the power grid. Her small hands moved quickly over the control panel. She was only 19 years old, but she knew these machines better than anyone else on the planet. Another hot day, she said to herself. The fusion reactor hummed softly behind her. This machine gave power to the whole colony. Without it, everyone would be in darkness. Hannah loved her work. She was studying to be an engineer. Every day, she learned something new about the machines that kept their small world alive. The colony had only 3,000 people. They all depended on each other to survive. Hannah, a voice called out. She turned to see her older brother Giwon walking toward her. He was tall and strong, with kind eyes. As the security chief, he always looked serious when he worked. "What is it?" she asked. "Just checking on you," Giwon said with a smile. "You have been working here since sunrise." "The reactor needs daily care," Hannah replied. "If something goes wrong, we all suffer," Giwon nodded. He was proud of his sister. She was so smart and worked so hard. Their parents died when they were young. They only had each other now. Suddenly, a loud alarm started ringing across the colony. Both siblings looked up at the sky. Dark shapes were moving through the clouds. "Ships, big ones." "Those are not our ships," Giwon said quietly. More alarms joined the first one. People started running out of buildings. They pointed at the sky and shouted. Fear was on every face. The alien ships were huge and black. They looked like giant metal insects with sharp edges. There were 6 of them floating above the colony. They blocked out the sun. Giwon grabbed his radio. "This is Security Chief Park. All defense teams report to stations now." A loud voice came from the sky. It spoke in perfect human language, but the accent was strange and cold. "Humans of New Haven Colony. You will surrender now. We are the Valith Empire. Your technology belongs to us." The voice echoed across the colony. Children started crying. Adults grabbed their families and ran toward the emergency shelters. "Technology," Hannah whispered. "They want our fusion reactor." The voice continued. "You have 1 hour to give us complete access to your power systems and defense codes. If you refuse, we will take them by force." Youngji Choi, the colony leader, appeared on every screen in the settlement. She was a tough woman who used to fight for Earth's military. Her face was hard but calm. "Citizens of New Haven," she said, "we will not surrender to these invaders. Our fusion technology must not fall into their hands. It could be used to hurt other human colonies. We will fight." The alien ships started moving lower. They were so big, they made loud booming sounds just by flying. Giwon looked at his sister. "Hannah, you need to go to the emergency bunker right now." "No," she said firmly. "I need to protect the reactor data. It is too dangerous. If they get our fusion technology, they can attack other human worlds. I know how to destroy all the data files. I am the only one who can do it safely." Giwon wanted to argue, but he knew she was right. Hannah was the best engineer they had. Only she knew how to wipe the systems without causing an explosion. "Be careful," he said. "I have to organize the defense." Brother and sister looked at each other. They both knew this might be the last time they would see each other alive. The first alien soldiers landed near the main power station. They were tall and thin, with gray skin that looked like stone. They had 4 arms and moved very fast. Their weapons made bright blue energy beams that could cut through metal. Giwon ran toward the defense positions. The colony guards were brave, but they had never fought aliens before. They had simple laser rifles and basic armor. The aliens had much better weapons and technology. Hannah ran into the power station control room. Her fingers flew over the keyboard. She started the emergency data destruction program. All the reactor designs, all the fusion formulas, all the technical secrets would be gone in 10 minutes. Outside, the battle began. Blue energy beams lit up the sky. Human voices shouted orders and warnings. The aliens made strange clicking sounds when they talked to each other. The control room door suddenly exploded inward. 3 alien soldiers stepped through the smoke. They saw Hannah at the computer. "Stop what you are doing, human," one of them said. Its voice sounded like metal scraping against stone. "No," Hannah said simply. She kept typing. The alien raised its weapon. "Step away from the machine." "I said no." The alien looked confused. In all their wars against other species, no one had ever refused a direct order like this. Most creatures begged for their lives or tried to run away. One alien grabbed Hannah's arm and pulled her away from the keyboard. She was small and could not fight back physically, but she had managed to start the deletion program. The computer screen showed data destruction in progress. Time remaining 8 minutes, 23 seconds. The aliens tried to stop the program, but Hannah had locked them out with security codes. They needed her to unlock the system. "Give us the access codes," the alien commander demanded. "Never." Outside, the battle was going badly for the humans. Giwan and his people fought bravely, but the alien weapons were too powerful. Many colonists were already dead or wounded. The alien commander in the control room spoke into a communication device. "Commander Soren, we have captured the human who controls the reactor systems, but she refuses to cooperate." A new voice answered, deeper and more commanding. "Bring her to the interrogation ship immediately. We will make her talk." 2 aliens grabbed Hannah's arms. Even though she struggled, she could not break free as they carried her away. She saw the computer screen one last time. Data destruction complete. All files deleted. She smiled. Whatever happened to her now, the aliens would not get humanity's fusion secrets. Her sacrifice would protect other human colonies from these invaders. The last thing Hannah saw before they put her on the alien ship was her brother G1. He was fighting 3 alien soldiers at once. He looked up and saw them taking his sister away. "Hannah," he shouted, but it was too late. The alien ship closed its doors and lifted into the sky. Hannah Kim was gone, carried away to face whatever horrors the Valith Empire had planned for her. Did not know that in trying to break her, the aliens would make the biggest mistake in their empire's history. The alien ship was cold and dark. Hannah shivered as they pushed her through long metal hallways. The walls were covered with strange symbols that glowed with a dim blue light. Everything smelled like chemicals and burning metal. 2 alien guards walked beside her. Their forearms moved in ways that made her feel sick to watch. They did not speak to her or to each other. The only sound was their feet clicking on the metal floor. They brought her to a large room, filled with machines she had never seen before. In the center was a metal chair with straps and wires attached to it. Hannah's heart started beating faster. She knew this was not going to be good. "Sit," one of the guards commanded. "No," Hannah said quietly. The guard grabbed her with 2 of its arms and forced her into the chair. The metal was so cold it hurt her skin through her clothes. They strapped her arms and legs down tight. She could not move at all. A door opened, and a new alien walked in. This one was taller than the others and wore a dark uniform with silver markings. Its gray skin looked older and had scars across the face. This was Commander Soren. "I am told you destroyed important data," Soren said. His voice was calm but frightening. "This was not smart. It was the right thing to do," Hannah replied. Soren walked around the chair slowly. "You humans are new to this galaxy. You do not understand how things work here. When the Valith Empire wants something, we get it. Always, not from me." The commander stopped walking and stared at her. "Every species says that at first. The Kaleri said it. The Threnody said it. The Zephians said it too. They all broke within hours." He moved to a control panel covered with buttons and screens. "Your fusion technology is very advanced. Much better than what most species have when we first meet them. We want to know how it works. I already told your soldiers. I will never tell you anything." Soren pressed a button. A small machine lowered from the ceiling. It had a sharp metal point that glowed with energy. "This device can cause great pain without leaving marks. Very efficient," The machine touched Hannah's arm. Pain shot through her body like fire. She bit her lip to stop herself from screaming. The pain lasted for 10 seconds, then stopped. That was the lowest setting, Soren said. Now, tell me the access codes for your reactor systems. No, he pressed the button again. This time the pain lasted 20 seconds and felt twice as strong. Hannah's whole body shook, but she did not make a sound. Interesting, Soren said. Most humans scream by now. Hours passed. The alien commander tried many different machines on Hannah. Some caused burning pain. Others made her feel like her bones were breaking. One machine made her see terrible things that were not real. But Hannah did not break. She thought about her brother Giwon fighting to protect the colony. She thought about all the other human settlements that would be safe if she kept quiet. She thought about her parents, who taught her to always do what was right. Give me the codes, Soren said for the 100th time. Never, Hannah whispered. Her voice was weak, but her answer was still strong. Other alien scientists had come to watch. They whispered to each other in their clicking language. They had never seen anything like this before. Commander, one of them said, her species appears to have unusual pain tolerance. All species have limits, Soren replied coldly. We just need to find hers. He turned a dial on the main control panel. The machines around Hannah started glowing brighter. The pain that hit her was worse than anything before. It felt like every nerve in her body was on fire at the same time. This time, she could not stay quiet. A scream escaped from her throat, but even screaming, she did not give them what they wanted. The codes, Soren shouted, go ... to. Hell, Hannah gasped between waves of pain. The commander's face showed anger for the first time. In his long career, no prisoner had resisted this. Long, the Valeth Empire had conquered dozens of worlds. Every species had secrets they wanted to protect, but they all talked eventually. Increase power to maximum, he ordered. Sir, one scientist said nervously, that level could cause permanent damage, or death. I do not care. This human will talk. The machines around Hannah began making loud humming. Sounds. The pain increased until she could not think straight. Her vision became blurry. Her heart was beating so fast it felt like it might explode, but still, she did not give them the codes. Blood started coming from her nose, her breathing became shallow and quick. The monitoring machines showed her body was failing. Stop, the scientist said. Her vital signs are critical. Continue, Soren ordered. The pain reached levels that no living thing should feel. Hannah's body convulsed against the straps. Her eyes rolled back. Foam appeared at her mouth. On the monitoring screen, her heart rate spiked higher and higher. Then, suddenly, it began to slow down. The green lines on the medical displays started to flatten. Commander, she is dying, the scientist warned. Let her die then, Soren said angrily. If she will not give us information, she is useless. Hannah's heart rate dropped to almost nothing. Her breathing stopped. The pain machines continued their terrible work on a body that was shutting down. At exactly 14:23 station time. The monitoring equipment showed a flat line. No heartbeat, no brain activity, no breathing. Hannah Kim was dead. Turn off the machines, Soren commanded. The room became quiet except for the sound of cooling metal. The alien scientists looked at the human girl's still body with confusion and fear. Sir, one of them said quietly, in 300 years of interrogation, no species has ever chosen death over cooperation. Then they were weak, Soren replied. This human was just stubborn and stupid. But even as he said it, the commander felt uneasy. Something about this felt wrong. In all his experience conquering worlds, prisoners always broke before they died. They begged for mercy. They traded information for their lives. This small human girl had done something different. She had chosen death over surrender. Remove the body, Soren ordered. Put it in the disposal bay. We will try again with the other human prisoners. 2 guards unstrapped Hannah's lifeless body and carried it away. Her face looked peaceful now, as if she was just sleeping. The pain was finally over. The aliens did not know that killing Hannah Kim was the worst mistake they would ever make. In 37 minutes, they would learn what happens when you push a human too far. In 30 minutes, everything would change. The disposal bay was a cold, empty room at the bottom of the alien ship. Broken machines and waste materials floated in zero gravity, waiting to be shot out into space. In the center of all this junk lay Hannah's body on a metal table. Her skin was pale and cold. Her chest did not move. The torture machines had left no marks on her, but inside, her body had simply given up. The alien scientists had been right. She was dead. 2 alien workers prepared to push her body into the ejection chamber. In a few minutes, she would float in space forever. Just another piece of garbage, thrown away by the Valeth Empire. Another dead prisoner, one worker said to the other. This one lasted longer than most, the second replied. Commander Soren was very angry. They did not look at Hannah's face as they worked. Dead bodies made them uncomfortable. They just wanted to finish their job quickly and leave. High above in the ship's medical bay, Dr. Minho Lee stared at his computer screen with confusion. He was the colony's doctor and researcher. Before the attack, he had convinced Hannah to wear a small medical device that tracked her health. It was hidden under her skin, so the aliens could not find it. The device was still working. It sent signals through space back to the colony. For the past hour, it had shown terrible readings. Hannah's heart rate had gone crazy high, then dropped to 0. The pain readings were beyond anything a human should be able to survive, but now, something impossible was happening. The device was showing new activity. This cannot be right, Minho whispered. He checked the equipment again. The readings were correct. Hannah's bioimplant was active again. He ran to find Guan. Hannah's brother was in the command center, planning another attack on the alien forces still on the ground. His face was dirty and tired. Many of his friends had died in the fighting. Minho called out, "You need to see this." "Not now, Doctor. We are planning our next move. It is about Hannah." Giwon stopped what he was doing. His sister had been gone for 8 hours. He assumed she was dead by now, but he tried not to think about it. "What about her?" Minho showed him the computer screen. "Her medical implant is active again. Look at these readings." Giwon stared at the numbers. He did not understand all of them, but he could see that something was happening. "What does this mean?" "I do not know. But, according to this, your sister's heart is beating again. Her brain is active. She is alive." On the alien ship, the time was exactly 15 o'clock. 37 minutes had passed since Hannah died in the disposal bay. Something changed. Hannah's eyes opened. They were not the same eyes that had closed in death. These eyes burned with a light that seemed to come from inside her. They were still brown, but now they glowed like hot metal. Her chest began to rise and fall. Air filled her lungs with a sound like wind rushing through caves. Her heart started beating, but not with the weak rhythm of someone barely alive. It pounded like a war drum, strong and steady. Hannah sat up on the metal table. The 2 alien workers turned around and saw her moving. Their 4 eyes went wide with terror. "Impossible," one of them gasped. "She was dead," the other whispered. "We checked 3 times. Hannah turned her glowing eyes toward them. When she spoke, her voice sounded different. Deeper, stronger, angry. "Yes," she said quietly. "I was." She stood up from the table. Her movements were smooth and powerful in a way they had never been before. The aliens could see muscles moving under her skin that looked stronger than they should be. One of the workers grabbed his communication device. "Security emergency in Disposal Bay 7. The dead human is Hannah moved faster than anything human should be able to move." 1 second, she was standing by the table. The next second, she was right in front of the alien. Her small hand grabbed his wrist and squeezed. The alien's arm bone broke with a loud crack. He screamed and dropped the communicator. "You hurt me," Hannah said, her voice calm but terrifying. "You hurt me very badly." For a very long time, the second worker tried to run to the door. Hannah picked up a piece of metal debris and threw it. The chunk of steel flew across the room and hit the alien in the back. He fell down and did not get up. Alarms started blaring throughout the ship. Security cameras had recorded everything. Alien soldiers watched in shock as the small human girl they had tortured to death walked through their ship like she owned it. All security teams to Disposal Bay 7, a voice announced over the speakers. Prisoner has escaped containment. But the word prisoner did not fit anymore. Hannah was something else now. She walked through the corridors of the ship with purpose. Her bare feet made no sound on the metal floors. Her eyes glowed brighter as she moved, as if anger was feeding the light inside them. The first group of alien soldiers came around a corner with their energy weapons ready. There were 6 of them, all trained fighters. "Stop where you are, human," their leader shouted. Hannah did not stop. She did not even slow down. They fired their weapons at her. Blue energy beams that could cut through steel hit her body. But instead of falling down hurt, Hannah kept walking. The energy seemed to bounce off her skin, or disappear into it. "What is she?" one soldier whispered. The soldier leader fired again, this time aiming for her head. The beam should have killed her instantly. Instead, it made her eyes glow even brighter. Hannah reached the first soldier. She grabbed his weapon and crushed it in her hand like it was made of soft clay. Then she pushed him. The alien flew backwards and hit the wall so hard he left a dent in the metal. The other soldiers tried to retreat, but Hannah was too fast. She moved between them like a shadow, breaking weapons and throwing trained fighters around like toys. In 30 seconds, all 6 soldiers were unconscious on the floor. Commander Soren watched through security cameras from the bridge. His hands shook as he saw the small human girl destroy his best fighters without even trying hard. "Sir," his assistant said nervously, "what are your orders?" Soren stared at the screen. In the torture chamber, Hannah had been weak and helpless. Now she looked like something from a nightmare. Her eyes glowed like stars. Her movements were too fast and too strong. And she was coming toward the upper levels of the ship. "Lock down all sections," he ordered. "Send every soldier we have." But even as he gave the orders, Soren felt something he had never felt before in his long military career. Fear. On New Haven colony. Minho and Juwon watched the impossible readings from Hannah's medical implant. Her vital signs were stronger than any humans had ever been. "What has happened to her?" Giwon whispered. "I do not know," Minho replied. "But whatever it is, I think the aliens made a very big mistake." Hannah moved through the alien ship like a storm. Every corridor she entered became a battlefield. Every room she passed through was left in ruins. The aliens had built their interrogation station to be impossible to escape from. They never imagined someone like her. She found the prison section where other human captives were held. The cells were small metal boxes with energy barriers instead of doors. Inside, she could see colonists from New Haven. They were scared and hurt, but alive. "Hannah," one of them called out. It was Sun-Ho Kim, a farmer from the colony. "How did you get free?" Hannah looked at the control panel that operated the prison cells. It was covered with alien symbols she could not read. But she did not need to read them. She grabbed the entire panel and ripped it out of the wall. Sparks flew everywhere. The energy barriers flickered and died. All the prison cell doors opened at once. "Run to the ship bay," Hannah told the freed prisoners. "Take any small ships you can find, get back to the colony." "What about you?" Sun-Ho asked. "I have work to finish here." The prisoners ran down the corridor toward the ship bay. Hannah went the other direction, toward the upper levels where the alien commanders worked. More soldiers tried to stop her. They came in larger groups now, with bigger weapons. Some carried rocket launchers. Others had energy cannons that took 2 aliens to operate. Nothing worked. The rockets exploded against her skin and left no marks. The energy cannons made her glow brighter, but did not slow her down. She walked through their attacks like she was walking through rain. When she reached them, the destruction was quick and complete. Hannah had learned something new about her changed body. She could control metal with her mind. When she concentrated, alien weapons twisted into useless shapes. When she got angry, their armor cracked and fell apart. Commander Soren watched from the bridge as his forces fell one by one. Each group he sent was stronger than the last. Each group failed faster than the one before. "Sir," his communications officer said with a shaking voice, "we are getting reports from other Valeth ships. They want to know what is happening here." "Tell them nothing," Soren ordered. "This is ... a technical problem." But it was not a technical problem. It was something much worse. For the first time in Valeth history, they had found a species that became more dangerous when you tried to break it. On New Haven Colony, the battle was also changing. Juan led his remaining fighters in desperate attacks against the alien ground forces. They had been losing badly all day. Too many colonists were dead. Too much equipment was destroyed. But then Dr. Minho Lee made an announcement over the colony's communication system. "Attention all defenders," his voice said clearly. "Hannah Kim is alive. Her medical readings show she has escaped alien captivity and is fighting aboard their command ship." The effect was immediate. Human fighters who had been ready to give up suddenly found new strength. Colonists who were hiding came out to join the battle. Even the wounded picked up weapons and returned to the fight. "My sister is alive," Juan said to his team. "If she can fight them alone on their own ship, we can beat them here." The human counterattack began with new energy. They used tactics the aliens did not expect. Instead of trying to fight the superior Valeth technology directly, they used their knowledge of the colony to set traps and ambushes. Colony leader Youngji Choi coordinated the defense from the command center. She had been a military officer on Earth before coming to New Haven. She knew how to fight against superior forces. "All teams, listen carefully," she announced. "The aliens think they understand us. They think we are weak because we are smaller. Than them, they think we are stupid because our technology is different. They are wrong about everything." Back on the alien ship, Hannah had reached the engine room. The massive fusion reactors that powered the vessel hummed with dangerous energy. She understood these machines. After all, she had designed similar ones. For the colony, she began pulling out key components. Her enhanced strength let her tear apart systems that normally required heavy tools to service. Each piece she removed made the ship weaker. Alien engineers tried to stop her, but they were not fighters. They were scientists and technicians. Against Hannah's new abilities, they had no chance. "Please," one of them begged, "you will destroy the whole ship." "That is the idea," Hannah replied. She found the main power coupling and grabbed it with both hands. Energy coursed through her body. Any normal human would have been burned to ash instantly. But Hannah absorbed the power and used it to make herself even stronger. The ship's lights began to flicker. Gravity generators started failing. Emergency alarms echoed through every corridor. Commander Soren felt his ship dying around him. In desperation, he opened communications to all Valeth forces in the system. "This is Commander Soren to all ships," he broadcast. "Retreat immediately. Do not engage human forces further. This is a direct order." His bridge crew stared at him. In shock, the Valeth Empire never retreated. They had never met a species they could not conquer. "Sir," his tactical officer said, "we cannot retreat from one small human." "Look at your screens," Soren said quietly. "Look at what that small human has done to our ship. Look at how our forces are performing on the planet's surface. These humans are not like other species." On the main viewer, they could see Hannah walking through the ship's corridors. Behind her, everything was broken. Weapons were twisted. Walls were torn open, soldiers lay unconscious. But it was not just the destruction that frightened them. It was the way she moved. Like she owned the ship. Like she was not afraid of anything in the universe. "What are humans, really?" the tactical officer whispered. Soren thought about the small girl who had died rather than give up her people's secrets. He thought about how she had come back from death itself to take revenge. He thought about the human fighters on the planet, who had started winning as soon as they learned she was alive. "I do not know," he admitted. But I know we should not have tried to break them. The ship shuddered as another system failed. Hannah was getting closer to the bridge. Soon, she would be here. Soon, they would face the thing they had created by trying to torture a human to death. Commander Soren made the hardest decision of his military career. Abandon ship, he ordered. All personnel to escape pods. Leave everything behind. As alarms blared and aliens ran for their lives, Hannah Kim continued her march through the dying ship. She was no longer just human. She was something new. Something the galaxy had never seen before. Something that would make sure this never happened to her people again. The alien interrogation ship was dying. Hannah stood in the empty bridge, watching through the windows as escape pods fled into space like frightened insects. Commander Soren and his crew had abandoned their mighty vessel rather than face her. She walked to the pilot's chair and sat down. The control systems were alien, but machines spoke a universal language to her enhanced mind. Within minutes, she understood how to fly the ship. The massive vessel turned toward New Haven Colony. As it moved through space, pieces of broken equipment fell from its damaged hull. The ship, that had seemed so powerful a few hours ago, now looked like a wounded animal limping home. On the colony's surface, the battle was almost over. When the alien ground forces saw their command ship retreating, their will to fight collapsed completely. These were soldiers trained to follow orders and win. Easy victories. They had never been taught how to fight an enemy that refused to surrender. Guan led the final charge against the remaining alien positions. The invaders threw down their weapons and begged for mercy. It was a complete reversal from the morning, when the humans had seemed helpless against superior technology. "This is Security Chief Park to all units," Guan announced over the radio. "Alien forces are surrendering. Take prisoners, but treat them fairly. We are not like them." Colony leader Youngji Choi stood in the command center, watching the impossible victory unfold on her screens. A few hours ago, New Haven had been facing complete destruction. Now their enemies were running away in terror. "Ma'am," her communications officer said, "we are getting a signal from the alien command ship. It is, ... It is Hannah Kim." Youngie grabbed the radio. "Hannah, is that really you?" "Hello, colony leader." Hannah's voice came through clearly. "I am coming home. Thank God you are alive. How did you escape?" There was a pause before Hannah answered. "I died, then I came back. It is hard to explain." Dr. Minho Lee was listening to the conversation from the medical bay. He looked at the readings from Hannah's bioimplant with amazement. Her vital signs were still far beyond normal human levels. Whatever had happened to her on that ship, she was no longer entirely human. The alien command ship landed in the colony's main square. Its hull was cracked and smoking. Chunks of metal fell off as it touched down. The landing was rough but controlled. Giwon ran toward the ship as fast as he could. He had not seen his sister in over 10 hours. He had thought she was dead. Now she was back, but something felt different about the whole situation. The ship's door opened with a hiss of escaping air. Hannah stepped out into the sunlight of her home world. She looked the same, but also completely different. Her clothes were torn from the fighting, but her skin showed no wounds. Her eyes still glowed with that inner light, though less brightly than before. When she moved, it was with a fluid grace that seemed almost too perfect. "Hannah," Giwan called out. She turned toward his voice and smiled. For a moment, she looked exactly like the little sister he remembered. Then he got closer and saw her eyes. They held depths that had not been there before. They held the memory of death and the knowledge of what lay beyond it. "Brother," she said softly. G1 wanted to hug her, but something made him hesitate. "You, ... Are you okay?" "I am different now," Hannah admitted. "The aliens did things to me, terrible things. But when they killed me, something inside humanity woke up. Something that had been sleeping for a very long time." Dr. Minho Lee arrived with his medical equipment. "Hannah, I need to check your condition. Your bio readings are unlike anything I have ever seen." "I know, doctor. I can feel the changes in my body. I am stronger now, faster." I can do things that normal humans cannot do. She looked at her hands. I think I might live for a very long time, maybe forever. Colony leader Youngji Choi approached with a group of other officials. Hannah, what you did today will be remembered forever. You saved not just our colony, but possibly all of humanity. How? Hannah asked. Because now they know, Youngji explained. The aliens thought humans were weak. They thought we would break easily under pressure. Instead, they learned that killing a human might make us into something much more dangerous. Over the next few days, word spread across human space about what had happened at New Haven. The story grew with each telling. A young human girl had been tortured to death by aliens, then returned from the dead to destroy their entire invasion force. Some people said it was impossible. Others said it was a miracle. But the alien prisoners confirmed every detail. They spoke in terrified whispers about the small human who had walked through their weapons fire like it was nothing. The Valeth Empire sent no more invasion fleets to human worlds. Instead, they declared human space to be a restricted zone. Other alien species that had been planning attacks on human colonies changed their minds completely. Hannah became a symbol throughout human space. Colonies that had never heard of New Haven suddenly knew her name. Artists made paintings of her walking through the alien ship with glowing eyes. Writers told stories about the girl who came back from death. But for Hannah herself, life was complicated. She could no longer live the simple life of a young engineer. Her enhanced abilities made everyday tasks difficult. She was too strong, too fast, too aware of everything around her. More importantly, she carried the memory of her death with her always. She remembered the pain of the torture. She remembered her heart stopping. She remembered the cold darkness that came after. Do you regret what happened? Dr. Minho Lee asked her during one of their regular check-ups. Hannah thought carefully before answering, I regret that it was necessary. I regret that people had to die, but I do not regret protecting my people. And I do not regret showing the galaxy what humans really are when you push us too far. She stood by the window of the medical bay, looking out at the stars. Somewhere out there, alien species were telling stories about humanity. Not stories about weak creatures to be conquered, but stories about beings who became more dangerous when you tried to break them. The aliens made one mistake, Hannah said quietly. They thought death was the end of the fight. For humans, sometimes death is just the beginning. From that day forward, no alien species ever again made the mistake of underestimating humanity. They had learned a lesson written in pain and resurrection. There are some things in the universe you should never try to break because sometimes when you break them, they come back stronger than before. And sometimes, they come back angry.